Hello students, today we are going to study about some more defects of vision. In our last class we have studied about cataract and myopia. This class we will be studying about hypermetropia and some more defects. Let us begin then. Hypermetropia is also known as farsightedness, or another name of it is nearsightedness. In this, a person is able to see the far objects clearly, but the near defect, that means reading and writing, the near defect is not distinct, and this is what we are going to study now. So as you can see here, this is the definition written for hypermetropia, and the objects clearly it's not visible when it is kept near the eye. A diagram is drawn, and this is the diagram drawn for a normal eye. You can see here that the near point is 25 centimeter. We have read this earlier, the near point and the far point of eye. So the near point of eye is 25 centimeter. That means any object which is kept at near point will be visible by normal eye, and the image is formed at retina. But what goes wrong with a hypermetropic eye, that we are going to see now. Let us see. So you can see here in the diagram drawn, the near point of this is a hypermetropic eye, and where is the image formed? The image is formed behind the retina. Now you can see here, this is the near point of the eye, right? So if this is the near point, and from here the light goes inside the eye, then where does it meet? It meets behind the retina. But now if that person takes the book or whatever the person is seeing, suppose a person is reading a newspaper. So if the newspaper is shifted slightly backward, that means the near point is shifted more than 25 centimeter. This distance will be increased now. This distance is 25 centimeter. If it is increased now to 30 centimeter or 35 centimeter, the person is able to see it clearly because now the rays merge at retina. So this is what happens with the hypermetropic eye. Now we need a corrective lens so that the rays which are formed behind the retina, they can be shifted and they can be projected at the retina. So let us see what could be the correction of it. So now you can see the correction for hypermetropia, and what is placed in between is a convex lens. Earlier we have used concave lens, and this is a convex lens. So what happens, the ray when it starts from the near point and it hits the convex lens. So convex lens, since it is a converging lens, so it converges the rays to the eye lens. Now the eye lens, it again converges it, and now this time the image is formed at retina. So with a distance of 25 centimeter, now the person will be able to read or write properly. Earlier that person was not able to do so, but now the person, with the help of the proper power of convex lens, will be able to read and write properly. So this is how the hypermetropia is corrected. So the possible cause of it is the focal length of the eye lens is too long. The focal length of eye lens is too long. It means what? That the eye lens is quite thin. Actually, to see the near object, the eye lens should be thick so that it has less focal length. But the ciliary muscles, for this also ciliary muscle function, but maybe the ciliary muscles has not functioned properly, because of which the focal eye lens has not become thick and it is thin, and because of which the focal length has become long. The second possible cause. This is the second possible defect, that is the eye lens has become too small. This is the normal eyeball, and if the eyeball becomes small, then it could mean like this. So these are the two possible cause. The focal length of the eye lens is too long, and the second one, the eyeball has become too small. So because of any of these two cause, the hypermetropia may arise in a person. This is the third defect, presbyopia, and this is the last defect which is given in NCERT book. Another name of it is old age hypermetropia. Why do we say children? Because this happens only at old age. Now you have just seen what is hypermetropia, and that was a near defect. The person is not able to see the near object clearly. The same happen in presbyopia also. So a question might arise in your mind, that what is the difference between presbyopia and hypermetropia. Now the difference is presbyopia happens with old age, whereas hypermetropia does not arise with old age, it can happen at young age also. Presbyopia is something which happens in most of the people when they reach at old age. So a person with presbyopia cannot see near object distinctly, and the cause of it is because of gradual weakening of the ciliary muscles that happens with age. The ciliary muscles or the normal muscles also, they become weak. And the second is diminishing flexibility of the eye lens. The eye lens, they are very flexible because to see near object and far object, when the ciliary muscle contract or relax, the eye lens, because of its flexibility, is able to change the shape, becomes thick or thin. But with age, this flexibility reduces, and because of which this presbyopia is likely to happen. The correction for this is convex lens. As you can see here, it is the near defect. The far defect, it becomes absolutely perfect, but only the problem is with the near defect. So that's why we use convex lens. So this is the third defect. Apart from this, there are certain cases where a person is having both the defect, that is near defect also and far defect also, and for that we use bifocal lens. This is not any defect, but the name of the defect is not given, but sometimes a person may suffer from both myopia and hypermetropia, and for that the correction used is bifocal lens. Bifocal lens, as you can see, the above part of it is a concave lens to see the far objects, and the lower part is a convex lens to see the nearby objects. So this defect does not have any name. A person might have a chances that suffer from myopia as well as from hypermetropia. So with this we finish the defects of vision, and in the next class we will be studying about how to calculate the focal length for the defects. Thank you.